Hello there, fellow summoners. Mad Dog HT here, and we are going into war number 4 of season 25, and we are up against TKS, the Killers. And this was a interesting matchup. Like the war rating stuff was quite significantly different, and so we're not getting a ton of points for winning this war if we win it. And so we're going up path 2 in section 1. This is node number 5, and it has the node where you only gain power when they gain power. And originally I was planning on just using Thing and redlining this and not worrying about the Furies and just letting those build up, but then I remembered that Morningstar, she's going to, even though I can't bleed, when I hit her, she's going to be taking off rock stacks, and it's going to basically mitigate some of the protection that will be available if I start to build up those Furies really big. So I just was throwing my specials and managing my combo, kind of obeying the rules of the node. And we take down that Morningstar, no problem. She did have suicides, so that helps significantly. Actually, these first 3 fights have suicides, which, whenever I see suicides, I'm just licking my chops, and, basically the fight time gets cut down in half. And so now this one has Strike Counter Fury again, and it's Brute Force. And for this one, I am going to redline it. I'm not going to try to manage my combo or anything, and we're just going to put Thing's signature ability to work. And here I've already dropped, all of the combo stuff, so she is slowly building those Furies, which is a good thing for me. So you can see, like, boom, that first hit, she's triggering protection. It's gonna fall off, and the next parry is gonna trigger protection, 1 health point damage. And yeah, so basically I can't take damage right now unless I'm getting hit, and at the same time it will trigger protection. But yeah, so I'm just gonna keep going through, finishing my combos, getting parries, and letting her throw her special one whenever she can. And sooner than later, she will die shortly. I think I might finish her off with an L3, or maybe I just finish her off with a combo here. Yeah, I finish her off with an L3. And so yeah, so 58 hits, usually it's around 100. You think, oh, 100 hits, that's like a long fight. And yeah, it's a little bit long and whatever, but it's really safe fighting with using Things. So he takes care of business, gets those first 2 fights down. And yeah, I just love Thing for these Strike Counter Fury nodes. He counters so many champs on the nodes. Now here we have a Magik, and I was looking around to figure out where I was going to use my torch, and really this is the only fight that I'm using torch for. It was either this fight, or I could have taken the Mojo and Power Snack, but me and my buddy who's new in our group, Etchels, we switched around, and he used his Horseman AA on the Mojo. So here I am going to manage my combo, throw specials, make sure that she doesn't get any Furies. This was only a Sig 20 Magik, and so basically I get lucky with not getting Limbo triggered, and I basically lose no health. She had suicides, super easy fight. See, again, Etchels, he took that Mojo. I didn't have any other fights. We actually had an Elsa on EMP, and so he took that one as well with AA and just kind of bursted him down. Now we're on node 32. This has the Chitness Thorns, where if they have an armor up and you're not bleed immune, you're going to get wrecked. And so it's an interesting placement. I mean, Silver Surfer can obviously get an armor up, but generally speaking, you can work around that, like which buff that he activates and goes on cooldown and stuff like that. But I'm just trying to build up some rock stacks. I have the Human Torch synergy, which basically once I get to 20, anything after that automatically builds up. I don't have to wait. We push him to his L2, and then we're just going to try to bait this out. And I think he finally throws it after this combo. Obviously don't want to push him to L3. I could activate protection if needed, but he does throw it, and we're just going to keep smashing away. You know, Silver Surfer's not a difficult defender to fight. We get a big L2 off, and I'm just doing medium, mediums, medium, mediums, and then go into a full combo, and he finishes them off. Pretty easy, straightforward fight, and thing smashes through at 49 hits. That's not too bad. And then this fight with the Medusa on node 42, it's got the enhanced armor up, and where you hit them into the block, they gain an armor, and if you hit 5 armors, then it basically detonates. So I'm just, this whole fight I was thinking to myself, don't hit into the block, don't hit into the block, don't hit into the block. And I'm bringing in Guillotine 2099 for this one, and there I do hit into the block once. But I need her charged up. But this champion also, the summoner also has suicides. So I had to be kind of careful because I wanted to make sure that I got to an L3. And I will get to an L3, but you know, with suicides, man, it takes so much health, and if they're throwing specials, which Medusa is pretty much for the most of this fight, you know, their health just starts to drop really, really, really quick. You know, when she's got those 3 Furies up, you can either just do 1 hit or do a heavy and be safe, or do a hit and then a heavy. I wasn't going to risk that with, you know, possibly this guy having limber on his masteries. I could easily get off a heavy, and that was good enough. So I'm not throwing any specials until the very end, and then I'm just trying to play out, be very safe. I want to keep it to the L1. L1's easy to get out of range from. Sometimes if your spacing isn't right on the L2 of Medusa, you can get caught and then stunned, and then yes, it can hurt pretty bad. So we're just about done, and I throw up my L3 and I get the charge. Only 2% health lost, so I am all ready to go for the boss, which is Apocalypse, and it looked like it was a rank 2, not a rank 3. So definitely it's going to be some easier work on that one. And yeah, so we get the charge, we're all ready to go. Now last up, we are going in against this Hulkbuster over on this left side, and this is Buffet, and it's got the suppression node where if you don't manage your strike counters, you basically start to get your power drained. And then it's got that armor up node where if they have an armor up and you crit, basically it consumes the armor up, and they take 0 damage. So that really, I didn't really even consider that being problematic in this fight. At the beginning, I am managing my combo. I'm trying to not get those suppressions on me. I do get 1 in that first set, because I just want to be able to keep throwing some specials so that I can convert my rock stacks more quickly to get more Furies, which means more damage. I am boosted on this one, but you know, if I happen to hit super hard, which, you know, the special one's not going to hit too crazy hard, especially with Hulkbuster being a tank and his armor and whatnot, but if it was to hit too hard, any knockdowns would remove protection, because Thing is also an extra large champion. So you can see there I just crit and I removed that armor up, and I got a big fat 0 yellow crit damage on that. So this is going a little bit, you know, it's not fast by any means, but it's super safe. I don't have to worry about Buffet. Thing is nullify immune, and Buffet is tied to nullifying a buff that you activate. So if I dex or whatever, it's not going to get nullified, therefore the regen is not going to get triggered. And yeah, so we keep smashing around, and we're going to get to the end, and he's going to stop throwing his special one, which is what I want to see, just because you can just get out of range of it. The special 2, you can fully dex it. I usually just dash out of the front, block, and then dex out of the end. But you're going to see here, I'm going to turn off the regen so he doesn't heal up, which is good. But he's going to start playing more defensive where he's not throwing the special, and I'm consuming some of these armor ups that he's getting, and I'm like, ooh, I'm so close, and I probably could have finished him right there, and I probably should have, but I wanted to make sure that I hit him hard enough. And now that he's got an armor up, if I happen to crit, that hit's gonna do 0 damage. So I'm just trying to play this guy out and say, come on, throw your special, and then I'll make sure I kill you. And he's about to get a second armor up, so that means 2 crits. So basically 2 of the hits could basically cause 0 damage. And you're gonna see there's one, there was another one, and then we crit for a 3rd time, 6k, and we get the kill. So yeah, Thing's a great option for that fight. You know, not sure who else I would use, but you have to worry about, if they're not shock immune, you have to worry about that, because the shock is boosted by Hulkbuster being amped up with attack and whatnot. So last up, we're going into the boss, and this is a rank 2 6-star Apocalypse. I'm jealous of this guy, but this guy also has suicides, and so we saw this earlier on, like middle through the war. Someone's like, hey, this detonator guy, he's got suicides. I'm like, that's the guy that has the boss. So I'm just licking my chops, and so I only put on a small attack and health and attack boost, nothing else, just because I knew that I could pretty much just block everything, play super safe, the recoil damage, and just like the bleed and the poison damage, which is also amped up on suicides. It's gonna tick away for quite a bit. I mean, you can see what the suicide is going for, 1300 a tick. Like, that's a lot of damage to be taking. I mean, technically I probably could, you could probably just dance around a lot and the poison would kill him over the 5 minutes. So we bait out one last heavy and we finish him off with an L2, just over 50 hits. Pretty safe, pretty easy. Our battle group did great this war. We only had 2 deaths, which is fantastic. And yeah, big shout out to everybody in BG1, to the whole team. We did great. We did win this war against the killers. And yeah, so here's the war stats. I had 7 fights, 7 kills, no deaths on the season. 26 fights, 26 kills, 1 death, which was a timeout. And that was a tier 2 war still, and we went up 5 spots. We're still in Masters, number 7, which is pretty awesome. 4-0 on the season. And yeah, we're having a good time. So here's the leaderboard. It's so tight. You can see, like, we got these top 3 guys. They're doing great. You go into the Masters and you look where we're at with this about 5.5 million, and everybody under us is 5.5. There's only like a 40,000 point difference in that group. So we'll see if we can't hang on. We're going to keep trying to win. The matchups so far have been pretty good. We've been smashing it, having a good time. But thanks for watching, fellas, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.